guys, so just before we get into the video, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my channel memberships. I recently did some changes so that there is a single tier for $2.99 a month, and you guys will get all of the perks that come with my channel membership, including custom emojis, members only live streams, member only videos, all of that kind of stuff, and it's all on the single tier, and it is $2.99 a month. I'm really hoping that this will encourage some new members, so if you guys are interested in supporting my channel, please go check it out. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm still bulk recording, doing a stitch of the week. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Adrian and Kiwi is my parrot, and we are actually on week 3 of Stitch of the Week, and probably by the time you guys see this, it will be September 13th, which means hopefully I will be getting out of the hospital while you guys are watching this, maybe, if I'm lucky. So, we are actually working our way through a book called the New Crochet Stitch Dictionary, if I could manage to pick it up. The New Crochet Stitch Dictionary. I actually got this approximately a year ago, and I figured that I would work my way through this book, showing you guys a short tutorial on how to do each of the stitches. I don't know how to pronounce this particular author's name, but those are the authors, and I will link I'll link where you guys can get this book from through Amazon in the description box below. Right now, for now, I am using Brava Sport Weight yarn, which I will also link where you can get this yarn from. The colorway I am using is called Seraphim, and I get this yarn from Knit Picks. There is the rest of the label. I'm just using some scrap yarn. It's just a bit of scrap yarn sweater that I recently finished up, which probably by now you guys have already seen. So yeah, let me get my camera turned around and we'll get into it. Okay, so this week's stitch is called the Knit Look Garter stitch, and it is very easy. Do I have the lighting too high, guys? Let me know. I was playing around with the lighting. As you can see, I already have my chain of 11. This particular stitch can be worked with any number of chain stitches plus 1. So to start off, we are going to slip stitch into this would be your back loop. So slip stitch into the back loop of your second chain from your hook. And we're going to slip stitch into the back loop of that chain all the way across. In my case, I did 10 chains plus 1 for a total of 11. So I should have a total of 10 slip stitches. And as usual, I'm sure that my tension is going to be looser now than what it will be by the time we're done with the tutorial. Please forgive me for that. The idea here is just to give you guys the basic idea of how to do this stitch, because I'm not great with tension. So this is going to be a 2-row repeat. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to chain and turn our work. This time, instead of placing our slip stitches in the back loop, we are going to place our slip stitches in the front loop. With slip stitches, they are always kind of tipped a little bit towards the back. So this right here, this top bar right here, is going to be the front loop of your slip stitch. And you're just going to go ahead and slip stitch into this top bar. You can see it goes all the way across. It almost looks like a back loop, but it's not. It's your front loop. Because if you look at your other side, there's a V here, and this is actually the back loop of your slip stitch. So we're just going to be going into this loop right here. Hopefully you guys can see it right there. And we're going to be slip stitching. I'm trying really hard to keep a loose tension, and I hope that you guys are enjoying my Stitch of the Week tutorials. I thought, especially for beginners, that doing this book, working our way through this book, would be a good one to work through. You know, just doing those front loops. You can hear Kiwi talking in the background. Last one. And this little loop here is actually your turning chain. So you're going to chain one, turn your work, and this time you're going to work in the back loop. And you're going to go across doing slip stitches in the back loop. Of your slip stitch from the previous round, or previous row. And it should give you something that looks similar to knit. I don't actually knit, so I couldn't tell you if it looks like knit or not. But assuming that the stitch is called Knit Look Garter Stitch, I'm assuming it should be one that looks like a knit stitch. This is yet another one that I think would work really well with the Join As You Go sweater ribbing. I think it would work really well if you wanted a different kind of look to your ribbing. It's working up easier than, you know, some of the other ones that I've done. This row, at the end of this row, we're going to chain one, turn our work, we're going to flip it over, and this time we're going to work in the front loop of our slip stitches. And that is pretty much all there is to this stitch. In one row you work in the front loop, in the next row you work in the back loop. It is easier for me to keep my tension on this stitch than what it was in last week's Stitch of the Week, which was the V-ridge look, and the slip stitch ridges as well, because both of those I had a lot of difficulty keeping my tension. But this one is a little bit easier. Actually, it's a lot easier. Last one. So it's got these kinds of zigzag, I don't know if you'd call them a zigzag or not, pattern going, and I think that is what they're referring to, is this row right here. That's what looks like the knit stitch. Now on the other side, it's up here, so it would be down here and up here, so it's like every other row that has that knit look, I guess. I guess I could work up another row real quick. That was what, front loop, so I have to do a back loop. But it's definitely one that I could see myself using as, oh, this is single crochet. What am I doing? Don't mind me, I've just completely forgot what stitch I'm working with. I'm working with a slip stitch, not a single crochet. It's one that could definitely be used with that join as you go technique I showed y'all a couple weeks ago. To make, you know, sweater cuffs or the sweater ribbing at the bottom. Two more. Okay, so that's what it's looking like, and like I said, I think it's this side, which I guess would be your right side since we started over here, that has that knit look. I think this is supposed to be the knit look right here, because to me this just kind of looks like slip stitches stacked on top of each other. I don't know, y'all can tell me what you think in the comments below. Alright, I'm going to turn my camera around real quick. Alright guys, so that was the Knit Look garter stitch. I don't knit, so you guys will have to tell me if it looks like a knit stitch. And actually I was looking at the calendar, and by the time you guys see this, it will be the second weekend of Scream Hollow and my first day back to work. So yeah, actually I should be out of the hospital by the time you guys see this one, hopefully. Anyways, I hope you guys are finding this series enjoyable. You know, if not, y'all let me know that too in the comments below. But I do like the idea of checking out different variations of what you can use basic stitches for. In my crochet stitch glossary, I have already done, you know, like slip stitch, single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and things like that. And I think it's really cool to be able to I'm sorry guys, I don't know what's going on. I think it's really cool to check out what other kinds of things that you can do with these kind of basic stitches. Anyways guys, I am going to let you go for now and probably find myself something to drink because I don't know what's going on with my throat. Yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!